Hello, and welcome to Homestudies e-learning for advanced. Thanks for joining us. In this video, we're going to take a look at review writing, how to formulate an engaging review. We're going to go over task information. I will also demonstrate how to write more engaging sentences, show you how to structure a review, and state the review features and conventions. Explain how to create a catchy title, and teach the functional language of giving or expressing opinions. And lastly, go through review vocabulary. But before you get started, it's a good idea to print out the PDF handout of this unit so you can easily make notes and underline key information during the tasks. Or, if you don't have a printer, you can download it to a different device and use a highlighting tool for note-taking. Task information. Reviews are usually written for a magazine, newspaper, or website. The aim is to describe and express your opinions of the restaurant, book, or film. The functional language that is usually used in reviews are description, evaluation, recommendation, or giving opinions. The purpose is to inform and to entertain. Thus, the language needs to be engaging, which we will look at later in this video. The style is semi-formal. This is due to the fact that you are able to, and should, express your personal opinions, which means that it is slightly less formal than, say, essays, proposals, and reports. How to create engaging sentences. In order to create a captivating sentence, leave the most necessary or interesting information till the end. This is the info that, if left out, would not give the sentence any meaning. This is usually the subject of the sentence, or the description of the subject. This, therefore, keeps the reader hooked and wanting to read till the end. Just to note, don't use this formula all the way through your piece of writing, as you need to show structural diversity. However, it is useful in introductions to create instant intrigue in your writing. Therefore, let's compare two sentences so as to work out what is the most crucial or fascinating info. Sentence 1. The Witch is considered the most terrifying film of the last decade among horror aficionados. Now, this is an okay sentence, and it's grammatically accurate, but it's not as intriguing as it could be. So let's have a look at the second one. So let's have a look at the second sentence. There is a consensus among horror aficionados that the most terrifying film of the last decade is The Witch. Now, the second sentence, this keeps the reader asking questions as they read. What is the consensus among horror aficionados? What is the most terrifying film of the last decade? Etc. The subject and adjectives describing the subject are withheld to the end. Now it's time for an exercise. Rewrite the sentence from a book review in a more engaging way. So pause the video and press play when you're ready to continue. Let's check out the answer. Zadie Smith, the 25-year-old author from London, has been hailed by a publisher as the new Ernest Hemingway. So what Zadie Smith is being hailed as, or what literary great she's being compared to, is far more interesting than how old she is or where she's from. Thus, the more fascinating information is withheld to the end. Now, rewrite the sentence from a film review in a more engaging way. So pause the video and press play when you're ready to progress. So, let's have a look at a possible answer. In the rewritten sentence, adapted from Frank Herbert's 1960s opus, was added first, as this is relatively boring factual information. However, June is dense, moody, and quite often sublime, was put second, as it expressed a fascinating personal opinion, and it used interesting adjectives to describe the film. Rewrite the sentence from a restaurant review in a more intriguing way. Thus, pause the video and press play when you're ready to continue. So let's have a look at a possible answer. Now again, the subject, in this case the restaurant name, is withheld to enhance suspense in the reader as to what great restaurant is being written about. And the fact that it won a Michelin star is by far the most interesting piece of information here. Hence, it is added at the end. The first sentence, when finding out the wine list is well chosen at the end, is anticlimactic when you already know that the restaurant has a Michelin star. The review structure. Now you always start off with a title, and I will explain to you how to create an engaging one very soon. Then you move on to an introduction. Here you add some factual information on the subject. For example, the author of the book, the director of the film, or when the play is opening. Now remember, it does not have to be factual. If you don't actually have the correct information at hand, you can make it up. The next paragraph is a description. Here you're going to describe the restaurant or hotel, etc., or summarize the story of a film, book, or play. The next paragraph is an evaluation. So here you're going to state what you liked or did not like about it. Much of the content of the text should be devoted to the writer's opinion than facts about the subject. And in the last paragraph, you'll write a conclusion. Here you will explain why you would or would not recommend it. Titles. The title should be no more than 5 words maximum. Therefore, be concise. You can leave out articles, prepositions, and linking words. It does not have to be grammatically accurate. Being succinct is the key. Also, allude to how you feel about the film, restaurant, or book. The title should correlate positively or negatively with the review. And finally, hook the reader. As this is also a piece of entertainment, you should entice the reader to want to continue reading. Now it's time for a task. Which is the best review title for the film Minari, and why? So pause the video and press play when you're ready to go on. And the answer is Minari, a heartwarming family tale. Now this is because it alludes to how the reviewer feels about the film. It also hooks the reader into wanting to know more about the film by the fact that it is heartwarming. The first one doesn't tell you anything about how the reviewer feels. Which is the best review title for the book Blood Meridian, and why? Therefore, pause the video and press play when you're ready to review. And the answer is Violence, Depravity, the American West. Now this is due to the fact that the second title is not concise enough. It uses too many words. You don't need the noun book, the preposition about, and the linking word and. These words add nothing to the overall meaning and feeling behind the title. Lastly, which is the best review title for the British History Museum, and why? So pause the video and press play when you're ready to continue. And the answer is World History Under One Roof. Now the first title does not hook the reader. Old stuff, this is not very alluring. However, knowing that there are historical artifacts from all over the world in one place very much is. So let's take a look at the functional language of giving opinions. Now use this type of language sparingly. This is because reviews are still relatively formal. Thus much of the language needs to be fairly neutral. Hence, this type of language mostly is used in the evaluation and conclusion paragraphs, as these sections are used to express your personal thoughts on the subject. Now it's time for a task. So for each of the giving opinion sentences, fill in the missing words. So pause the video and press play when you're ready to continue. So let's take a look at the answers. Number 1. To my mind, Nomadland captures modern-day America like no other film. Number 2. My impression is the hotel staff have no interest in the welfare of their guests. Number 3. Speaking personally, I found the book to be a bit of a slog. Number 4. It seems to me that no one cares whatsoever what went into preparing the meals. Number 5. I'm under the impression that this biography was written without the permission of the subject. Number 6. As far as I'm concerned, this is the most dynamic and well-run bar in all of the Algarve. Number 7. I believe that every spa in Auckland ought to emulate Indulgence Days Resort. And number 8. I'm of the opinion that no novelist alive today creates such rich, three-dimensional characters like Jonathan Franzen. Now take note of all of the phrases in bold. You can use these in any review to express your personal opinion. Now it's time for a vocabulary task. The vocabulary in bold in this task will be useful for any book review. Match the definitions below to the vocabulary in bold in the book review. So pause now and press play when you're ready to go on. So let's take a look at the answers. In a nutshell, now this phrase means to summarize concisely or in a few words. Unfolds. Now this verb means to become clear through systematic exposition. Prodigy. Now this noun means a young person or child who has extraordinary talent or ability. Shot to fame. Now this phrase means to attain stardom or popularity quickly. Must read. Now this noun is a piece of writing that should be read. A page turner. Now this noun is a book so exciting that one is compelled to read it rapidly. Debut. Now this is the first public appearance of a piece of artwork. Settings. Now these are the places and the times of a story. And that brings us to the end of part 2, review writing. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. I hope it's been informative. But before I leave, I just want to give you one final tip, and that is to entertain your reader. Now this piece of writing is supposed to make the reader want to continue. They want to read and be entertained. Don't forget to do the practice activities and quizzes in this module to consolidate the techniques that you've just learnt. Good luck, and I'll see you in the next video.